on a second. Oh, it's being weird. Alright, 1 second. My apologies. Alright, this should be better. There we go. Hello, everyone. For some reason, it wanted a very low volume on my mic. There we go. All good now. Don't worry. I am totally professional. Hope everyone's doing well today. Hope everyone is doing great. We're back in the DMC DeLorean. This wonderful vehicle with the V6, the Skibbity DeLorean, exactly. The Skibbity DeLorean. Oh, why do I say that? The Skibbity DeLorean. Where we will be going back to the racetrack, future, past, all that stuff. You know, technically, despite it being called Back to the Future, they only go to the future once, and that's only in the second movie. Every other time they go to the past. The only time they go to the future is with when they go to deal with Marty's kids at the beginning of the second movie, and he gets fired and everything like that. Every other time they go back to like either 1955 or 1885. Like the future, but the entire dialogue's been changed to Gen Z and Gen Alpha. No, absolutely not. Please no. Do not. I think I think I would go a little bit faster than 88 miles an hour into a wall in order to avoid that. Hello, Wolf, welcome. Hope you're well. Hope all is good. Oh, alright, hang on a second. We got a Lancia right on our rear. Two wedge-shaped vehicles of the 70s and 80s, duking it out. We also got a Skyline too. Oh, and the steer's real. Yeah, don't remind me about that. Do not remind me about that. That is terrifying to think about. The fact that people I watch grow up are gonna be adults soon. I don't need to feel older than I already am. I don't need to feel older than I already am. That is no thank you. No thank you. Absolutely not. I don't need that. I definitely do not need that. Jim Beta, oh wait, oh gosh, they're gonna mock relentlessly. Lol, all of them are betas. Heck. They couldn't call them like Gen Bravo or something. No, Gen Beta. Oh, rip. They got the short end of the stick there. I'm just waiting for Gen Sigma. That'll be the memes out of that generation would be great. Oh man, third gear has no guts. Second gear, I'm bouncing out the rev limiter. The third gear has no grunt. Something like that. Yeah, some of them are probably around like 4, there or thereabouts. I'm doing okay talking to my girlfriend. Oh, nice. Hope she's doing a little bit better, a little bit less pain and everything. Tell her I say hi. Well, I mean, you can get it in the manual version. It's just the gears are still long in that too. The transmission is pretty dreadful in both the automatic and the manual. Oh, I gotta see if I can adjust the gear ratio a little bit better to get a little bit more acceleration. Like we are bogging down immensely in this vehicle, and it is pretty rough around the edges in that regards. You can tell this is the 80s DeLorean with its pretty anemic V6, the Peugeot Volvo Citroen V6. No, Peugeot. It was like Peugeot, Volvo, and one other company that they kind of all collaborated on the engine, and it was absolute dog water. What the title is something else? Oh no. Nah, great Scott, because we're in a DeLorean. But yeah, this is the 5-speed manual. But it is pretty dreadful. That was it. Well, you say that, but I mean, there was a company in Texas in the early 2000s that created the DeLorean S2. And that one is basically same styling as the regular DeLorean, but it has a little bit more grunts out of a slightly more modern and upgraded engine, as well as a revised suspension system. That's the one that's actually featured in a lot of the Gran Turismo games, is actually not the 80s DeLorean, but the 2000s DeLorean S2. That's why you can buy it from Brand Central in Gran Turismo 7. And why it's classified as a quote-unquote American car instead of like a British or an Irish car. Yeah, those ones were a lot quicker. Ah, jeez. Hopefully she gets better, man. Hopefully she's, you know, going through the physical therapy and everything and is slowly getting better and all that stuff. That is rough though. I will say though, I do like the sound of this when it has been upgraded a little bit. Yeah, now I get that. I'm kind of, yeah. True, but I mean, like, it's even more so with the S2 because the company is registered in Texas, and the cars are built and assembled right there in Texas as well. So that one gives it a little bit more, you know, it is undisputably American, whereas some could say, well, most of the company assets and manufacturing and everything like that was in Ireland, so, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Right, gear ratios, I want to adjust that. This thing is still anemic on the straights. Well, same thing with like Louis Chevrolet as well. He was French and he became, you know, but his company is still very American as well. Honestly, giving her someone to talk to is probably a good idea. Give her something to kind of, you know, relax and everything, or even just, you know, someone to vent to is probably nice. Speaking of the UK and London, let's do the race. Let's do the race here at London, Victoria Road, the longer London race. Yeah, they were even planning on making an electric one, and they had a couple concepts for that, but I don't know if that ever like came through or not. But there was talks for a little while back during like the late 2010s about creating an electric DeLorean built around like the original chassis and everything, which would have been really cool and kind of tie in with like the futuristic vibe of the vehicle. Not gonna lie, as much as the original DeLorean was kind of a dog, I'd love to have an S2 DeLorean. That'd be kind of fun, as like a fun vehicle to own. Yeah, but I mean, like, have it like actually be registered and be like, you know, a vehicle you can buy, you know, directly and everything like that. Like there are electric conversions and everything, but like there is I mean, directly from like the Texas DMC company and all that stuff. Yeah, hopefully shoots a couple of them in. It's crazy that Yuki made an entire lineup of scooters out of stock after it premiered. I mean, that is the power. That is the power of anime as well. Like, I know, like, one of the Hololive girls in the Indonesia branch, she did a partnership with Honda and made a special, like, moped scooter with, like, a Natasha with her on it. And, like, that was actually pretty popular and everything. The Kobo Kanaru little Honda scooter, and it's adorable as well. Yeah, I mean, the muscle mass thing, that's gonna come and go though, unfortunately. But the big thing is her getting better. Like, yeah, the muscle mass, that's unfortunate, but like, she needs to make sure she gets better first and takes care of herself. Yeah, but no, I'm talking like they were planning on like making one that was like being able to be registered as a new car. Like not an 83 model, like a brand new one. But still be like based around like the DeLorean. But I don't know if that went through or not. Like yeah, they had like the electric conversion kits and everything, but I mean like an actual like still stylized at the DeLorean, but being able to be registered as like a 20XX car. Like that, I don't remember there being much news about. Nice. Uramichi? Uramichi. What's that with the newer electrical DeLorean was supposed to be called? The Alpha 5. Okay, so maybe they did actually make it then. I hadn't heard much news about it, so I thought with the COVID and everything, it kind of fell through a bit. Okay, come on, let's make sure we defend against the BMW here. 280s cars duking it out. Get the rear to slide out a little bit. The rear engine nature of this is going to make it a little bit tricky to drive as well, given the nature of the rough suspension, the older suspension of the vehicle. Oh, okay, so it didn't actually come out. Got it. So what was the actual electric one with the new DeLorean company supposed to be? That one. Because they were planning on creating something like that and then went quiet. Anyway. I'm trying to joke around the costume as a D&D character. Hey, whatever help her kind of, you know, get in the right minds and everything and, you know, help recover and all that stuff. You know, if that's what helps, that's what happens. Although, would that make her a furry? Only 880 out of 5. Nice. Never cosplay. I've never actually tried cosplaying before. I need to try that. A human version. Oh, okay. So a less furry version. Little bit better for the summer weather, I guess. There we go. Put this level to level 10. Nice. Alright, we managed to stay within. We managed to stay within rank 50. Ah, geez. So you had that rough experience with cosplaying, man. .4 is quite quick. That seems very optimistic for sure. Like that might be a little bit quicker. But oh well. Oh gosh, the that's high area. Yeah, the fandoms sometimes a little bit rabid, shall we say, a little bit. I don't know. I'm always a little bit cautious about that stuff. Oh dang, 1500 horsepower, that's quite a bit. I'm assuming this is like with the modern technology, not like what they initially conceptualized in the 80s. Because electric technology in the 80s was not nearly that good. I'm not even gonna ask what tuna. What is tuna melt? What is tuna melt? I'm scared. I am very scared. What is tuna melt? And why should I be worried? I'm not gonna ask that. I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask what tuna melt is. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. No, I ain't gonna answer. Nope, don't worry. I'm not gonna push for an answer. Oh, okay, they just revived the name for the EV. I see. Alright, come on, big push. Oh, I love the boxer sound of the engine. Very nice. Oh, sorry, flat force sound of the engine. Oh, the horrors. What are the horrors? You don't want to know, bro. Hey, welcome, Fonte. Hope you're well. Right, okay. So the Fi is kind of the four-wheel drive electric. Big four-door thing and everything. But yeah, no, I was referring to that two-door electric EV. They had been talking about it being in the works for a while and never quite, like, I haven't heard much about it other than, well, yeah, we're kind of planning on it. And then, like, silence, so. I don't know. Hopefully it goes through, that'd be pretty cool. They're able to make it work and everything. Oh, you'll also your gains too. Ah man, I need to get back into like more like exercising. I've been doing like light stuff for a while, but I haven't done like anything to actually like. I've been doing more like maintenance runs and all of that stuff. I'd like to maybe like, maybe start of next year do like more like dedicated training and everything. Because most of my stuff now has been kind of a bit more on the lighter side, just to kind of, you know, just stay loose and agile and everything. Okay, a little tired today, but otherwise doing alright. Plenty. I was a short black person. I cosplayed this. Bruh. I want to talk about was Alpha 5. Yeah, but I mean, that was still a couple years ago, though. Like I said, I remember there being talks about it, but like not much else outside of the talks. So it'd be cool to see what they can actually do with it. Yeah, make sure you're hitting the 180 pounds and like the muscle mass and everything like that. You should be good though. You should be able to do it. I think. I got faith in you. I got faith in you. Oh come on, let's try to get back up there with the other Impreza. Ours is stock. Theirs seems to be slightly modified. Hopefully they release more details soon. It'd be cool to see them actually like make it like a functional, you know, even a prototype, or the you know, at least a full, you know, even full production would be cool. But even just a functional prototype would be, you know, pretty cool to see. Yeah, 180 is reasonable, I think. You can do that. Oh boy. Alright, gotta be a little bit careful. I wanna make sure we stay off of the dirt, because for some reason the dirt's touching that really reduces the amount of upgrade points we get. And I wanna make sure we get all the upgrades. Wouldn't surprise if they weren't at least inspired by them. If they're 1-to-1, I'm not sure, but like it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, especially if they have that much parts available for it. They probably have the details to remanufacture more parts like that, so if you're already making it, may as well make the controls even closer. Yeah, it's really either like, you know, it might be a reproduction part, so at least similar-ish. 1-to-1, you know, from the parts made back during the 80s, maybe. I don't know, they gotta be running out of parts soon to not have to worry about reproduction stuff. $24 Tsukuba. Honestly, it'd be kind of fun. The Tsukuba does have some lighting. It'd be a fun way to kind of swap up the 24 hours of the melons. You know, instead of just only running it at the Okayama circuit, have like alternate the free tracks. Where 1 year it's like letting on, one year it's you know, it's Tsukuba, 1 year it's like Navarro, 1 year it's you know, Summit Point. Would be cool to keep it varied. Still keep the car classes the same. There we go. Alright, second place is fine. I'll take second place. Alright, let's see if we get any upgrades to the vehicle. We did have a few off-track moments. Minor off-tracks, but still off-tracks nonetheless. Alright, there we go. There's the upgrade. This will be enough for a weight reduction, I think. Get the car a little bit lighter. ACC servers are acting weird. Yeah. I need to use after the stream tonight. I gotta use the ACC connector to basically LAN in backdoor basically into the practice server for the V2.4 coming up. So that'll be fun. That'll be very, very fun getting that. Because I need to practice in the actual server so I can get the right weather conditions and the BOP, because the Merc gets minus 10 kilograms. Should be fun. Should be very, very fun. Alright, let's see what we can do off the line here. There we go, get that forward drive launch. New Oblivion's buggy too. They updated graphics and kept the bugs for that old time feeling. You know, some people worry about, you know, new remasters losing the charm of the original games. Don't worry, they added even new bugs in this one as well to make it like really, really hit home. Don't worry guys, it just works. Enjoying this stuff. I mean, with that, it comes down to a little bit of the diet and exercise, a little bit of genetics and luck as well. But yeah, it's but yeah, no. So sometimes you got to deal with the hand you dealt and try to make the best out of that too. Like for me, it is quite difficult for me to build muscle mass, so I am a bit more on the lean and wiry side. Just how it be. All the tricks in the original are so doable. They literally just put a fresh coat of paint on the same bugs. That is glorious. GG Todd Howard. This makes me want to buy Skyrim again for the Microsoft Smart Fridge. Yeah, she could gain muscle quick. Yeah, I struggle with building like muscle mass. I can get like muscle definition and get that like super lean muscle and everything, but it's difficult to actually build like bulk. That's the harder part. Wasn't... I mean, isn't the new one... Hang on, isn't the new one made in Unreal 5? Or am I misremembering? I might be misremembering. But, yeah, that having such an outdated and dusty engine as well probably doesn't help either. Especially, like, if you have people that aren't quite as familiar with how developing for it and everything. No, it is an Unreal 5. Okay. Hey, look. People like potatoes too, alright? Potatoes are tasty. There's a chance you could be tasty too. You could be a very tasty baked potato. Oh, I love the sound of the engine. It is only a 5-speed though, so I do gotta watch out for running out of gear on the final gear. I feel like potatoes but ham is preferred more. I mean, true. But I mean, you can do so much with potatoes. You can do like pierogi, mashed potatoes, scalloped potatoes, baked potatoes, loaded baked potatoes, potato skins, french fries, potato wedges, curly fries, potato and omelets. To make the Curse Oblivion models. Oh, I've seen pictures of that with the crazy wide faces and everything, and like the itty bitty eyes and all of that stuff. Yeah, fun. I want a potato, not transform, just a whole potato. I mean. You just gotta get yourself an Irish cutie then. They love potatoes. Oop, down a gear. Get the rotation through the corners. I may need to stiffen the rear suspension just one more click. Or two. I am getting a little bit of understeer in the Impreza. And I wanna mitigate that. I do wanna mitigate that. Because holy moly. I'm not the biggest fan of the understeer in the longer corners. I want a little bit more rotation. In the socket, you lose an engine bay and spend 6 hours looking for. Ah, you're a 10mm. Nice. I could use a 10mm. I should, you know, be smart. As if tools like companies like Snap-on and everything sold ratchet sets with an extra 10mm socket. That way, if you lose one, hey, you got an extra. 24 hours of Red Bull Ring. Oh gosh. 24 hours of dive bombs. I'm not against an Enduro at Red Bull Ring, but 24 hours would be pain, I think. 24 hours would be pain. 24 hours would be absolutely pain. The track is just way too short, and there's way too many of the heavy braking zones that people would just turn their brain off. But then this would be a little bit better. Although 24 hours of tire wear. 24 hours of tire wear. 24 hours of Snedden would be kind of fun though. Because that one actually does host a 24-hour race. Granted, it is with the, you know, slower cars and everything. But at least does have history of hosting a 24-hour race. Plus, also the nighttime vibes would be very, very fun, but also very tricky to the Thanksgiving race. I almost said something not good. Uh-oh. Dark Souls bar spot. I'm like the skeleton you stab in level 1. Oh, can we squeeze through here? Barely. A 24-hour split into 4 8-hour races on different trucks would be interesting. I mean, as long as it's not all on the same day. If it's all on the same day, I think that would get a little bit tough. Because with the other 24 hours races, you're at least like, you know, you're like in a rhythm and everything, even when you're tired. Having to switch tracks completely during that time period might be very tough. Although a 24-hour series with 4 8-hour races could be pretty cool. Welcome down here, hope you're well. Right now, we just got done leveling up the DMC 12, the old DMC DeLorean, the 80s one, to level 10. That was a bit of a pain. But now we're in the Impreza 22B, and this thing is very nice and nimble through the streets of San Francisco. I say that as we plow forward in the corner. A little bit too late on the brakes there. But this is a lovely little forward drive car. Lovely little forward drive sporty machine. It's got the grip, it's got the acceleration, it's got everything. Oh my dears, there are no good. Oh no. Big rip. Is it at least an entertaining loss? Makes you still want to root for the underdog, even if they lose, you know, if it's close or, you know, they have the charisma and everything. There we go, lap 1 done. We're able to push ahead of the rest of the field. Give me a little bit more turn-in, please, game. The forward drive will really Really be able to help us accelerate out of the tighter corners on this track. Give us that power and traction down on the hill climb section here. Kimagawa's the biggest system that. Oh, nah, I don't think you're that. I don't think you're like Kimagawa then. Nah. Don't be mean to yourself. Oh boy. Alright, there we go. Little bit of a twitch there. Gotta get the context of this guy. Oh no. Alright, take care, JB. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by the stream, man. I appreciate it. So what is the context of him? You're losing everything, but has the most broken power. I mean, if he has that broken power, how is he losing? Alright, I'm curious now. Does he just use it poorly, or was it one of those things where you can make anything into nothing? Oh, okay. He can just delete. So he can literally just delete things. Uh-oh, what of this vault? This vault that's filled with money? Oh no, it's got a door? Delete the door. Hey, look at that, money. And I'll touch the money and then like, he'll sneeze or something and then all of a sudden. Will be deleted as well or something and it's like, well, alright. I lost there. Think about trying to do a Dutch racing championship into a league, but I don't even know what's in the use. Yeah, racing probably has most of the cars and tracks, having both Zandvoort, at least old Zandvoorts, and Assen TT. But yeah. Honestly, what he should do then, if he's trying to like scheme and everything and all of his schemes get bad luck, he should just use his power for like, you know, like use his power to make money. So for example, like if he can turn anything into nothing, have him be like a waste, get him into like the waste disposal business, or like, you know, like medical waste or like nuclear waste, something like that, and be like, oh, nuclear waste, delete. Uh-oh, a bunch of biological waste and everything that needs to be like super careful with. Delete. And like he'll you know be able to make money like legitimately and everything. And he'd be like a net benefit. So maybe if it's like a karma thing or whatever, like he can, you know, maybe get the better luck. Oh, it'll come back another. Never mind then. Time attack could be kind of fun as well. Although with that one, you have to make it very... You'd have to make it more than just glorified qualifying, though. In order to get more people on board with it. Because people usually do, like, the racing to like, race instead of just do, you know, nothing but just the laps and try to find the quicker time and everything. Because of that one, there's a chance that someone either gets very lucky or, you know, it ends up being, well, the faster people are always going to be in the lead anyway. There's nothing that can really affect them. If they get like 1 or 2 good laps in, then consistency don't matter. They're quicker. I don't know. It can be fun, but you got to get a lot of people convinced that it'll be, you know, worth it to stay for a while. Like, you need a lot of people fairly close in terms of time and skill level and everything. Otherwise, it may end up being a little bit boring. And we get the maneuverability here. Through the hairpin. The Thanksgiving race is going to give us a lot of points, a lot of upgrade points as well due to its length And we should be able to get the fastest lap as well. Like, we're pulling away from most of the drivers. What car did turn into a Temtech car in real life? Ooh. That's a good one. I'd probably go with something... Probably like a first generation Honda CRX, maybe. Or definitely like maybe like a Civic, like an older Civic or something like that. You know, something that has like a massive amount of like parts availability and a lot of like, you know, you can get a lot of technical know-how. And it could still be a fairly quick time attack car as well. That would probably be like my main go-to. Something that you can push, but it would still have the stability of a front-wheel drive car. So that, you know, semi-professionals or even like, you know, more clubman level drivers can push you without too much issue, too much worry. I'd be worried to drive like a multi-thousand horsepower rear-wheel drive car in time attack. And even four-wheel drive, it takes a completely different level of skill. But like a more lighter weight, you know, 400 horsepower front-wheel drive car, I could probably manage that. A Z4. I mean, that could maybe work. It'd be difficult to get upgrades for that one, though. That 2000 would be a good option, though. I see that get used a lot in, like, Street and Street Plus classes for both, like, autocross and, like, SCCA time attack events. So that wouldn't be a bad option. Though I don't really see too many, like, the crazy heavy modified versions here in the States. Those are usually a little bit more common vehicles, things like your, you know, things like your, you know, your CRXs, your Civics, your maybe like an Impreza WRX. Yeah, just get the GT3 engine into the Z4. Oh man, the mechanical know-how you need to do need for that one would be tricky. There we go. Fairly consistent lap times as well. Managing to get a little bit quicker right at the end. Occasionally, you do see a couple of like American like muscle cars get turned into like the pro touring vehicles as well. Like your second and first gen Camaros, or even later Camaros as well, get some decent upgrades. Your Mustangs as well. Like this 2000 has the F block. And the F block is Honda's front engine rear wheel drive engine. The K series is strictly front wheel drive engines. So that one, you know, you need, you would need something else. I have seen an F series engine get put into some of the smaller British cars, like your Austin Healey Sprites or your Triumph Spitfires. Apparently that's a not unheard of engine swap, which is really cool. Alright, nice and smooth through here. Oh yeah, I love the turbo sound. I love the extra exhaust. And I feel like I'm playing Tokyo Extreme Race, so we're driving Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift. We're driving our Impreza 22B through the Toge with a some upgrades at night against another driver. I mean, you say that, but like the F-Series engine has more power than the K-Series engine. It has like 250-ish versus the K-Series like 220, 230. So combine that with the higher horsepower per liter of the F-Series engine, and like there really isn't Like it doesn't really make much sense, like outside of because you can, to swap the K series into an S2000 that already has the F series engine in it. Oh, the modern Civic. Okay, maybe. Then again, it might be due to how, if the F series engine can handle a boost well enough, then that might reduce the need for the Turbo K series swap. I don't know. Be interesting to see if someone's done that. Yeah, S2000 would be pretty cool for time attack. And it's not like there isn't precedent as well. You had the Amus GT1 S2000, as well as some of the lower performance versions of that. And fair enough. And still, it might be one of those things where the juice isn't quite worth the squeeze. I've personally not seen any K swapped S2000s. But that could just be the region I live in and everything. It may be out there. There may be kits or modifications out there to do it, but I have personally not seen it. Yeah, the Vertex S2000 as well. Like, yeah, you had a couple of different time trial builds for the S2000s. Like, you even had some Spoon S2000s. Both turned into like race cars for the Super Taikyo Endurance, as well as some street performance versions to be used in like time trials and everything. So you do have some options, or like some different builds to take inspiration from. Boop. Yeah, I think they completely stripped it out, made it like made it very, very lightweight. I think they put in like the LS9 from the 01 in it. Something like that. But yeah, they did able to like the Pro Touring Camaro and everything. Some cool stuff they did on with that. DRS. I mean that required quite a bit of technical know-how, but I'm not gonna say it can't be done. I do wish you the best if you do want to try to do that. Yeah, you know the Corvette's. Well, the Corvette's chassis was a lot newer, a lot more modern suspension system and everything like that. So. Yeah, it probably helps out quite a bit. Still though, the fact that someone can still turn and get an old dog and learn new tricks, so to speak, is very impressive. Alright, let's get past the course. What's the company annoyed to putting TT body kits into their setups? Yeah, I wonder how much they cost though, and how much. Like that's gotta be expensive. Yeah. Now the Corvettes, and honestly that era of like the GT cars were pretty quick. No, to be fair, that was like, you know, a fully fledged like race car versus time attack cars, so. But still, I mean, the fact that it was able to hold up against cars with potentially more power is pretty impressive. Just goes to show how well engineered that race car version was and how well Pratt & Miller did with that. Yeah, they had some good arrows, some good chassis and everything. Oh, the speed of this is nice. This is very nice. Alright, I gotta get on the brakes a little bit. I don't want to understeer off on the high-speed left-hand corner. Nice. This thing has so much grip. This thing has so much maneuverability. The power, the acceleration. This is why I love the Impreza, this GC Impreza. Absolutely glorious machine. It's a shame we never really got any performance versions of the GC chassis in the States. None of like the STIs or anything like that. Only in the GD chassis we start getting them. Yeah, they had the extra aero components. Very good stuff. I love to drive like the Esperante or the something like that. Any kind of like the older 2000s GT cars would be kind of fun to drive in a league. Heck, even an older like Ferrari Challenge car would be kind of fun to do. Like the 360 or the 430 Challenge. Hell, even the F355 Challenge would be really cool to drive. One, because I absolutely love that car. The sound it makes is just glorious. And two, the design of that vehicle, the old 355 Challenge is just beautiful. I'd love to try to drive something like that in the sim. Unrestricted C6R. Yeah, just to see how quick they could actually get without any like balance of performance or any like restrictions. How fast did that original like engineering take them? Yeah, the MC12 or the old Ford GT GT1 as well. That was such a cool car. I like that one. I really like that one. Seeing that race. The Celine S7 too. Like, oh my gosh, that was such a cool car. I miss the old Celine. 850 horsepower, that's quite a bit. Yeah, the S7R, that would be nice. You don't really get to see that much in many racing games, even the older games of the era. If they had a Celine, it was the regular S7, not the S7R. Which is a bit disappointing, because I'd love to see that and actually drive it virtually. Just to see what it would have been like. That sounds about right. I'd have to double check it. Oh shoot, Race Room actually has S7. Damn it! Between you and Jojo, you guys really want me to get Race Room. I may have to actually get the Race Room then to drive something like that. The downside is the time period where I'm actually free to do Race Room races in the US, because it's mostly a European thing. There isn't that many Americans, north or south, that use Race Room. It'd be difficult to like actually do races on that. So I've been doing like research into like when like it's most populated and everything, and it's like right around like peak European hours, and I'm like, well, damn. I am usually not home that day, or like during that time period. There isn't nearly as many American people there. Well, it has some great variety of vehicles though, which is really cool. There we go. Nice and smooth through here. Alright, we're good, I think. Keep the speed up through the corners, keep the momentum going. Alright, through YouTube corner now. Brake a little bit before the jump. Get the cars stable. Nice. We had very minimal off tracks during this race as well right now. Which is good because not once, not twice, but 3 times in the next league series with all 3 of them, they're gonna be racing at Nords. Yay, my favorite track to race on in ACC. Yeah, jolly good, jolly good. Alright, come on now. Come on now. Let's get it going, let's get it sent. Full send down the back straight. We're definitely gonna hit a top speed here. Oh, the sound of it as well. I love this engine. Ooh, the CCGT. Very nice. I got some good stuff then. I gotta check that out then. I just wish more Americans played it. I'm imagining a lot of American sim racers are probably in the same boat with me of, man, I wish there was more Americans that played it. Alright, down a gear, down another gear, down another gear. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it smooth. Keep it steady. And there we go, cross the line. 821, not bad, not bad. I will take that. That's some good stuff there. Okay, S7R won the final LMGT1 race in 20... Ooh, nice. Very, very nice. GG to the S7R. Ooh, alright, we got the European Grand Prix next. Let's do this. We got some high quality vehicles we're going to be up against. Some GTRs. Not some GTRs. We do have the Supra though. Is that a Supra? I'm not actually worried about the Supra. I'm worried about the Corvette, the NSX more than anything else. Ooh, they got a roof GT too. That's pretty cool. This is the only Le Mans race that won though. Fair, but still, I mean, that's impressive that they managed to win it though. And I believe they had success elsewhere with the S7R, something like that. Oh, this sounds so much better with the upgrade. Yeah, got a more aggressive turbo, got more aggressive exhaust and intake as well. You can hear it. And oh my word, this is the good stuff. Yeah, the MC12 was really nice. It's a shame that's not in more racing games as well, even nowadays. Like, I know the MC20 is kind of Maserati's new darling car, but like, geez, I want to drive the MC12. That was like one of my dream cars when I was a kid. And I just absolutely love that thing. Ah, that's before Porsche got idea with racing. Fair enough, so they had to use the roof instead. Still, it's cool that they had options for a roof they used, that they could license and all that stuff. Yeah, bit of a shame. I would have loved to see more kind of prototype like GT cars. Like, Those were just so cool. The longer wheelbase, the advanced aero for the time, the high speed, like all of that stuff. Not gonna lie, if I ever become a multi-millionaire, one of the S7, like some S7 is gonna be among some of the first vehicles like I get if I become like super rich. Like that would be just yes. Like the S7, the F355, the 550 Barchetta. Like that would be very nice. And the old Ford GT from the 2000s. Like all that nice stuff. Yeah. Plus also Koenigsegg being a bespoke manufacturer probably made will probably be, you know, probably would limit their ability to race competitively in GT racing. Especially with like other homologation requirements and all that stuff. Might make things tricky. Just don't want to be broke. Fair. Same. Yeah, I think I only raced for like one season or something like that, right? Like not even. Like it was pretty rough. The car had a lot of teething issues, and they just kind of pulled the plug on it. There we go, nice and smooth through here. There we go, good stuff. Love this thing here. This thing is a beast. Yeah, and it had just crazy amounts of power and torque as well. So you had an awkward rate distribution, crazy amounts of torque. Just made for just a very awkwardly handling car. It was a cool idea in theory, but it just didn't quite work out too well. I will say that the Tuscan Speed 6, especially like the target top versions and everything, they do tickle my fancy. I quite like those. I quite like those a lot. Was it really 50-50? Okay. It was just the crazy moment of inertia then that made it handle horribly then. Man, that's crazy they managed to they got it to 50-50. Yeah, they had like all kinds of like, yeah, that would have resulted in like just a very awkwardly handling car. Oh, this thing sounds so good. Absolutely loving it. And it's driving beautifully too. Like it's still got a little bit of understeer. But otherwise it is doing very well. Ah yes, the common British manufacturer in the 90s and 2000s issue. We have ambition. Do you have money or pace or ability? We have ambition. The Lotus Elise GT1. The Tuscan, not the Tuscan, the Speed 12 GT1. No, the Marcos, the Marcos. Ooh. I'll take a look at that then. Was that the T400R? That was a GT2 car. Yeah, but like that's the point though, is like, yeah, they had ambition, they had a potentially solid idea, and then they ran out of money or talent, and then they were like, well, crap. Time to pack it up, boys. We're hosed. I'm gonna also have a GT2 cut at some point. How well did that do? Ah, the Tuscano is a GT2 cut. Nice. I have to take a look at that then. So I'm familiar with the Tuscan One Make Race series as well. And I've seen some online videos of that, and holy cow, those cars sound amazing. Although quite a few of them did catch fire. Those cars are very prone to fire if you use them in motorsports, because like the battery was so low to the ground that any grass getting up in there and caused fire. Which was a bit unfortunate. Morgan GT2 was there race. Ah, he participated. Only 7 of them. Dang. Wonder how many are left still. It'll be cool to see some of them out and about for like demonstration runs and everything at certain tracks. Just to hear the sound and everything. Oh, 7 are left. Okay. Nice. So at least they're all like accounted for and everything. But still, that is rough. There we go, over the crest. Boop. Yeah, I mean, yeah, having that underdog story probably helped out immensely. So yeah, good stuff then. GG on TVR then. Managing to, you know, make the best of a bad situation and, you know, kick butt while at least do alright, you know, with what they had. Love to see a Griffin GT3 even as a GT4. Honestly, I'd love to see TVR even a back at all right now. Like they kind of faded into obscurity during the pandemic years. They were like, "Oh guys, watch out! We're gonna be making a comeback. We're gonna be making a new Griffith. Just you wait." And then like the pandemic happened, and all of a sudden like they kind of literally just kind of disappeared, which is a little bit disappointing. But tis what tis. Was it more successful than the Lister LMP? Because the Lister also had an LMP1 car, and it won, I believe, only one race in its total run time, which was kind of a little bit dreadful. It was quick as hell in Total Immersion Racing, though. It's probably one of the few games that actually has that car. Oh, that's why they went quiet. Rush happened. Big rip. I'm not poking that. I'm not poking that bear. I'm not opening that can of worms. Nope. No. No. I'm not opening that can of worms. Oh yes, the weight savings and the grippiness. Give me more of that. Lots of the ranking points as well. Thank you. Grazie ragazzi. Grazie ragazzi. Forza Subaru Impreza 22B. Oh, they sponsored an LMTB2 rebellion. Okay. Nah, it'll take more than that to get me cancelled off of YouTube, don't you worry. Ooh. to not emote. Are they at least still trying to make the Griffith a thing? Honestly, the concept car and like what they've shown looks really, really cool. I'd love to see it actually make production. This is gonna be a tough race. Oh no, they're owned by the whales. They're owned by the sheep lovers. Well, it's Jover. It's Jover. Nah, I'm joking. Best of luck to them. Hopefully they actually make production. I'd love to see a modern TVR revival. Honestly, I'd love to see just like TVR come back into racing games again, even if it's the older cars. Like Gran Turismo 7 only has the Tuscan Speed 6. Getting the Tamura, getting, you know, the Griffith, the older Griffiths in there as well will be really, really fun. Just to increase the game's vehicle variety from like that time period. Would be pretty fun, I think. Especially with the absence of Lotus as well, the modern Gran Turismo games are kind of lacking in the British departments. They no longer have a factory pen. That's a wee bit of an issue, isn't it? That is a wee bit of an issue. No one guy who was shaping up YouTube, so just don't get notifications anymore. So like the you know, the discoverability of a regular YouTube content creator. Par for the course then. Alright, so I probably won't mention it too much then. Bullish government's like, alright, we don't want to deal with this anymore. Someone else take it. They promised us sheep. They're only making cars. They're only making cars. We want robot sheep. Like on our protection program. They got disappeared. Asa, welcome. We do be Newman. We got the little Impreza 2TB right now. Be really quick. Also, hey, I saw you posting times earlier for the Spa race coming up this weekend. You gonna be running that? Best of luck to you if you do. Hopefully you do well. I am. I just hope I beat Sooks. That's my main rival. We had a lot of close battles this season, so I want to, you know, finish it off with another good battle. I just popped in and say hi. Oh, cool. You both cited the COVID-19 pandemic in the comments and damage to production facilities. Okay, that's a new one. Was it like a fire or something? That's weird. It's Enduro and AC. Oh, jeez. I'm best of luck then. Hopefully it's a good one. I'll be sure to give you a little bump down the Kemmler Straight then. Nah, I'm joking. I'm almost ready, but it just didn't. Big rip. I want to know what the heck happened to the facility. Nah, running 219 flat, you'll probably be able to get by me without too much issue. I'm running like mid 219s pretty consistently. So I should be fairly competitive, but Spa is also one of my weaker tracks. And I also don't want to get a penalty. I basically want to beat Sooks. I want to beat Marcel Sooks. That is literally it. If I can beat him in the Enduro, I would be happy. Because he got me at Laguna. And then the buggers spun me at Suzuka after I undercut him. I'm a little annoyed about that, but tis what tis. And then he had the gall to not show up for Kielami, so I want to beat him at Spa. But the new cars was so jank on ACC. Don't like we're losing her to iRacing. We're losing her to iRacing. No. We are losing her to the iRental. Well, best of luck in that as well. Especially with the Queen's Design girls and everything. Yeah, the new Griffith looked absolutely amazing. I was really hoping for that to actually make production. Like, I'd seen it in a couple racing games. I'd seen some, like, you know, videos of it and everything. It looked and sounded amazing. Would have been a cool, like, kind of bespoke sports car and all of that, but it just... a bit of a shame that it just fell through and everything. Yeah, dry racing so much more. Yeah, I don't know. Greg's trying to get me back in iRacing as well. When idiots don't drive like idiots. I mean, it's iRacing. What do you think the I stands for in iRacing? Hmm? Yeah. No matter where you go in iRacing, there's always idiots. You could be 2.5K. Oh, next week Chuck's probably not. Oh no. That's a big rip. Are you at least gonna do like the commentary stuff then? Because I was listening to the Suzuka one, and that one was pretty good. Like that had a really good production value, I think. And you have already like the wealth of knowledge to do, you know, the commentary stuff. Could be pretty cool. I make the switch to LMU. Oh gosh, everyone is moving away from ACC. I'm getting left behind. No. Oh no, I'm being left behind. Did I good? Yeah, you did good. You and Jojo were great. You bounced off each other quite well. It was good stuff. I think this is. I need to. I'm gonna get this few mistakes. Yeah, but I mean that's par for the course in either moment, though. Like you're gonna have a few like slip ups of the tongue or whatever, or like, oh wait no, that's not that. Like you know how beloved Murray Walker was as a commentator. That man made so many mistakes. And yet people still love him as a commentator. Like, you'll be fine, don't worry. But yeah, no, I may end up going to LMU. I don't know. It depends on what everyone else on my team wants to do. Probably. Oh, I want it in red. Yeah, the new WRC game seems pretty nice. The big thing I want for iRacing is an actual functioning radar. Like, I am on a single 27-inch screen. I don't got VR like Lith and Kohai and all of those guys that say, "Oh, just get good." Like, that's not exactly how that works, y'all. Like if I can't see you, like it's a little bit difficult to tell if you're actually there. Like that would be a great thing to actually have a functional like radar overlay. Even if it has to be a third-party fix like most other things in iRacing, that'd be nice. That'd be nice to have. Got some interesting options here. To the Japanese car limited race. Oh, the one non-red car, the Tamikaira ZZ Coupe. That'd be an interesting one. Mid-engine cars, front-engine cars, whole bunch of high-powered Japanese vehicles. And we're in our snap oversteer machine. Oh boy, I hope I adjusted the suspension enough to mitigate that. In the AW11, the first generation of the MR2, standing for the midship runabouts. Such a gorgeous machine though, I absolutely love the way it looks. A buddy of mine had one of these in high school, and I remember quite a few weekends of working on the car with him. And then his first year at college, he had a wet spot at night while driving it. Wasn't even going all that fast, and the thing just snapped into a tree because he was on some winding back roads. Like, he wasn't even going that much, like, he was going the speed limits. Granted, the speed limit was fairly high for that road, but he hit a wet spot and the car just went backwards into a tree. He was fine, but the car was totaled, which is a bit of an oof. All right, we gotta really work to try to maintain our podium position. Oh gosh. The 222D, yeah, the Group S prototype car. That thing was pretty cool looking. Bit of a shame Group S never actually came to fruition. Having all those kind of mid-engine, semi-prototype off-road racers would have been really, really cool. And with them having a bit less power than Group B, we could have still been semi-safe. But after the chaos of the Group B era ending, and some of the driver deaths and spectator deaths and everything, probably for the best that Group S only remained a what if. Yeah, the 1,000 horsepower rally car probably would have been a bit ridiculous. I think at that point you'd be hard pressed to find drivers that would actually want to, you know, race in something like that. You got a car that's basically like made out of paper mache and an engine that wants to tear itself apart, and you're on dirt, snow, ice, gravel, tight, twisty roads with spectators basically jumping out in front of you every which way. Yeah. Oh, a little bit on the steer. Wee bit on the steer there. Like, that's not exactly something that you'd want. I think most drivers, most sane drivers, and despite, you know, the jokes of rally drivers being, you know, potentially the highly likely to be institutionalized, like most rally drivers have at least some sense of self-preservation still. Like, even during the Group B era, drivers are threatening like to walk out and everything unless certain safety features were addressed. Oh boy, easy. Alright, yeah, I'm having some issue with that corner there. Like, the car rotates, and then it doesn't grip up after it rotates. I may need to adjust a few things, because it wants to rotate, so you have to try to get off the throttle to prevent too much rotation, or you get like the maintenance throttle to maintain the car's stability. I don't know, it is sounding like an old mid-engine sports car. Same thing with the audio prototype. Yeah. Just ridiculous amounts of power, no weight, and crazy aero. Okay, so brake a little bit later. Do go down a second to get that rotation and to be able to get the power down to make ourselves go through that corner. And then pull. We gotta do it a little bit later, that way we don't hit the inside apex like that. Yeah. I think also wasn't Ford looking to make a Group S prototype as well. That kind of got canned after the one accident with the RS200 that unfortunately snuffed the lives of a few spectators and injured many, many more. Yeah, the RS200 Group S. Holy moly, that would have been pretty cool as well. The RS200 in general is such a cool vehicle. Like I love to try to drive like the road going version of that. I know that one had a lot less power than the Group B car, but it still would have been cool to see. Oh, everyone had a Group S motor. Okay, nice. Very, very nice. Oh, buddy, why are you going so slow in that corner? You can go faster. I know you can. You got the lightweight Tommy Kyra car. Like, come on. You can definitely go faster that corner. You slow me up there a little bit. You melon. Come on, get into the corners. One more lap. Let's maintain the points position at least. Get a little bit of upgrades that may help with traction and grip and everything. I'm gonna drive the ZZS, but I don't know if it won. I could fit in one, but like getting one in the States would be like, holy moly, that'd be so difficult. Between all the legal paperwork and everything for such a low production sports car, finding parts and maintaining it would be very tricky. Like you would need some like really good really good mechanics and everything. You have to have some really trusted people that know what they're doing and specialize in that kind of stuff, which would be a little bit tricky. Machiavelli, welcome. Hope you've been well. The crew manifest with it. Oh, let me know how that is. Let me know how that is. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, Taro's, a couple other things as well. And also the you know, you still need to go through the legal paperwork because it is considered a quote-unquote gray market import. You need to make sure your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, all of that stuff. Two Japanese 80s cars duking it out in a desert. I want to do it. One, because I want to see how well this thing actually handles off-road. And two, because I do like the other Japanese, you know, 80s Japanese cars, the way they look. I do need to be careful though. This thing is very prone to spinning on low grip, on the best of conditions. Low grip conditions like sand might be a little bit tricky. 6'3". Thankfully, I'm only 5'8", so I can fit in with them without much issue. The benefits of being a bit shorter. I get to enjoy the fun sporty cars. Yeah, the engine probably not too difficult. More so the suspension components might be a little bit tricky. Suspension, drivetrain, chassis components may be a little bit trickier. Also, with it being, I think they used the front-wheel drive SR engine from like the Pulsar, I believe, or maybe the Primera, something like that. Because it was a naturally aspirated transversely mounted, I think, which leads credence to being the Pulsar, like the Primera SR engines, I think. Whereas the Silvia's more known for like the turbo engines. Yes, okay. I'm glad I remember that correctly. It's been a little while since I've done some reading on the ZZ1. So I'm like, I think that sounds correct. Yeah, so in that aspect, you do have some good stuff there. It'd be more kind of like the other little bits and bobs, suspension-ish stuff. You know, getting some of the custom-made parts like the gear shifting, gear shift mechanisms. any electrical diagrams may be a little bit harder to find. It'd still have a little bit of trouble. But thankfully, using the Nissan parts does probably help it out a little bit. So you do have that advantage, at least. The S13, ooh. That's been done quite a few times before, so you have some builds that go off of there. Like there was one semi-recently back in 2019 in the Global Time Attack Challenge that was somewhat competitive. So you have a couple options there with that one. Plus with the sheer aftermarket of the S13, you do have some good options. Downside is you got to deal with OBD1, which is such a pain in the ass to work with. But yeah. Alright, let's go back. Let's see what other races we can do. Ooh, we got low end steering. We got Nürburgring. Gold Rush anniversary. Maybe once we have some upgrades on a vehicle. Nürburgring. Can't go wrong with the Nürburgring. Let's do it. Let's see how well the this 80s Japanese sports car does. I'm sure if the transverse engine is too different, maybe the housing. To my knowledge, and please don't quote me on this, the main differences were a little bit of differences in the valve train, the bell housing, the engine cover, and I think that was the main difference. Like the lower block is pretty much most of the same. It was like the upper parts, you know, like the cylinder heads and all that stuff that was different. Because, you know, naturally aspirated versus turbo and everything. And tuning for those different types of performance levels. I think. Do not quote me on that. I know the differences are fairly well documented. I just can't remember off the top of my head without literally pausing the race and looking that up. But I believe the heads, yeah, a little bit of like for the fit into the vehicles, and I believe the heads as well for the turbo versus naturally aspirated. So I think the Silvia's SR20 engines use lower compression heads. But don't quote me on that. Yeah, because that one was in the Pulsar GTI, right? Or the GTI-R. The forward drive Group A attempt. That one. Yeah. There's so many different versions of the SR20 as well. Like, holy moly. There is so many options. Oh, even in the blue. Wait. That one was transversely mounted. I could have sworn that one was launched. Okay. Alright. Never mind then. Never mind then. That one did have the transversely mounted one. Was it the older Bluebird that had the longitudinally mounted SR20? Oh, I can't remember. gotta be a little bit careful here. Oh, the speed though. Okay, that one I was transitioning at the all-wheel drive. Got it. So that one came before the Polestar GTIR by a few years then, and then the Polestar GTIR came out. You had the Primeras, or they had an SR20. So I believe the Primera stayed naturally aspirated throughout its entire lifespan. So that one was probably a different build of the SR20 as well, tuning it for like the Super Tours and everything, and the homologation for that. Gosh, I love the Super Tour cars. Those things was so nice. Those things are so nice. I'd love to see more of those. I know they do demonstration runs alongside the BTCC from time to time, so it'd be cool to see one of those. Oh, the Bluebird? Yeah, the Bluebird was super cool. Basically a almost rally-ready production car. Like that would have been super awesome. I still want a Pulsar. Like the Pulsar GTIR, it just looks and sounds so cool. I know it wasn't nearly as successful in Group A racing as other cars, but like, I don't care. I still want to own it, or at least drive one, or ride in the passenger seat of one. I've seen one IRL as well at a JDM meet up in northern Maryland, northwestern Maryland, and holy moly, those things, it sounded so good. Cause I got to hear it leaving, and he pulled out, and it just took off down the road, and the pops and bangs off of that thing when he shifted was so nice. Got to see a lot of cool vehicles that day as well. Got to see JDM GC and Brett's WRX. See, I have a soft spot for the hot hatches. The kind of scrappy blue-collar underdog, taking it to, you know, the faster, higher class sports cars. It's always kind of resonated with me a little bit. Get the Rock Lee figure. So why do you want the Rock Lee figure? Is he like one of the few characters you like in Naruto? Or is it just like really, really high quality? Alright, there we go. Through the corners. Alright, we're doing good. We're doing well. He's the only character I like in Naruto. He's like, alright, rest of y'all I don't like. You're cool. That's the story. We did kind of get the Bluebird itself. Oh gosh, not the big ultimate energy. Not the big ultimate energy. No. Ah, bigger rip. Welcome, Petra. We so much love Mega Mud trucks with this. Oh, cool. You're getting into the mudding subculture. Hope you enjoy seeing some of the crazy builds they do with that. Christian Ultimo is the U13 Bluebird. Oh, cool. So we did get a Bluebird in the States. At least one then. Very nice. Very, very nice. I wonder how much effort it would take to swap in a four-wheel drive system into that vehicle. Imagine a four-wheel drive sleeper Ultima in the States. I seem into the off-road stuff. So that's right up your alley then. Cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, you get the lifted bog runner pickup trucks and everything. Get like the Toyota Hilux or something like that. Could be fun. I came with the Japanese version. Yeah, but I wonder like what kind of like electronics and everything would all you need to do. It'd be interesting to see how hard it would be. Sourcing that those parts as well could be maybe a little bit tricky, given it being a bit more of an older semi-niche vehicle. Could be cool though. I mean, mechanically it could probably work out. It'd be very interesting to see what all would need to be done and everything. The big stuff, the little stuff. Because no matter how simple a build may seem, there's always the little stuff, you know, where you're like, ah, shoot, I didn't think of that, and you gotta manage it and everything. We know it's possible. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of vehicles to want. Oh yeah, no. Trust me, I've helped a lot of friends on their builds and everything. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, alright, it says it's only gonna take an hour. Cool, so are they arriving at 7 and I'm gonna have dinner with your family? Exactly. Because usually while working on something, you'd find something else that's broken as well, or that needs replacing, or you're like, well, we already have it open, we may as well do this. And so they have the fun stuff. Alright, let's go. Oh, it sounds so good that it has a few engine upgrades as well in it. It's still down on power compared to some of the other cars we're up against. But my word, this is a glorious machine. Alright, easy. Easy. I'm not seeing it much in drift circles, but the S10 gets used a lot in a lot of drag racing in my neck of the woods. Especially in the like bracket racing. And even like the index racing. You see a lot of the S10s in like the 11.5 and 10-second index brackets. And they're usually pretty reliable, very solid. Not super expensive builds. So I'm not really seeing the S10 in drifting that much. Usually most of the grassroots drifting I see has been like Fox Body Mustangs, Gen 3 Camaros, occasionally like your Nissan S chassis or your BMW E30. Like those types of cars. Yeah, I guess Nissan, to be fair, Nissan was a bit hesitant to get any kind of performance vehicle into the States during that time period. Like you look at the, you know, the S13, 180SX, 240SX, something like that. Whatever number it is, the fastback S13. It came with the CA engine instead of the SR engine. The truck engine. And even some of the other S13s and S14s didn't come with like the highest performance. Yeah, they weren't really used in the Nissans in the US. They used the CA engines in a lot of things. don't know, monster trucks in general are kind of cool. I like having the variety of styles. Though I kind of prefer the 80s styling of like things like the Hilux or like, you know, the Chevrolets or that type of stuff would be pretty cool. KA, did I say CA? Sorry, KA. Still, the truck engine, that one. Though to be fair, that one does get some decent modification now in today's aftermarket, so people have been turning those into solid performance as well without the SR20 swaps. People found out that they can actually handle a decent amount of boost, even if they're a bit heavier and have lower base power. And they can still do all right. There we go. Get around the hairpins. Got to scratch the ears of the kitty. There we go. There we go. People joke that it's a truck engine because it was also used in things like the Nissan Hardbody. But yeah, it's kind of more so designed for like light duty trucks. It just got used in a lot of like the Nissan's US offerings in that time period for their cars. But I mean, they're still solid engines in their own right as well. It's not like you're looking at like, you know, the Iron Duke or whatever. Like they had some solid tuning potential. To the point where now you even see a couple like two Nissan Hardbodies at a couple different car shows that have like, you know, the turbo kits and everything on them. Oh, come on. I need a little bit more speed. Come on now. Give me the rotation through the corners. Very nice. Very smooth. Absolutely loving this car now. Now that it's got a couple upgrades, it's handling like a champ. It's got the cornering capabilities, it's got the maneuverability, it's got everything, and it's doing it just right. And see, it was using S2, but just not in it. Right, okay. That's where my confusion came from. Thanks for the clarification, I appreciate that. So many engine codes so close together. I'm like, was it CA? Was it KA? KA, not CA. Though Nissan did make a CA engine as well. That ironically also was used in the S13. It just... confusing. Very confusing. There we go, give me that level up. I appreciate that. Gimme. There we go, more power as well. Yes. Alright. What's next on the racing block? What's next on the racing calendar? Alright, at the level 7. See if we can't get this to level 10. Ooh, Japanese car downhill match. Could be an interesting run. I'll give it a try. Let's do it. And 2 times I use the SR20. Oh, there we go. I like that acceleration. Oh, the handling, the extra handling is good too. As for the G, ooh. Honestly, the G20 could be a cool sleeper car as well then. If you can find one for a bit cheaper. The NX, I'm not as familiar with that one, so that one may need to be explained to me a little bit. Alright, nice and smooth through here. There's only US-bound emissions legal S20 engines. Nice. Well, I mean, not nice if that's, you know, all we got, but at least we got something. There we go, through the turns, through the twists. Also, I've got the G20, I'm doing like the Primera Touring. Yes! The full, like, you know, custom livery and everything. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be honestly a very fun kind of track day car then, because you already have the Primera's, like, you know, touring car routes and everything. So turning that into like a fun kind of track day car would be really cool. Trip out the interior, get like a roll cage and everything. You could probably get it ready for like different SCCA class racing as well, and it would probably do pretty good, all things considering. You have to figure out what class it falls under the best though, but like, shouldn't be too hard depending on like the modifications you do to it. Not a photosynthesis maker for a couple of races is some sort of touring car. Most, yeah. Like even at the Dodge Stras. Literally as I mentioned that. Yeah, unfortunately, Super Touring didn't really work that well in the States. Bit of a shame because it was mainly run as a support race for the kart series. And they just suffered from small grids and low visibility. Oh, but the Stratas. That thing was so cool as a touring car. The fact he actually got, you know, people on board with that is really cool. It's not the right cars racing. Kind of, yeah. Oh, and just in general, touring car racing in the States has always been kind of, it's always been seen as a more European thing compared to Europe. Like even if you watch like the Imsa series and everything, they run the TCR cars alongside the GT4s. So they at least have, you know, people watching it and everything like that. Trying to run touring cars with the short sprint racing together it doesn't really do well usually. Yeah, it is a little bit more popular now with the TCR cars and everything. And with more, you know, visibility and more of an interest in those, like, that type of racing. But, like, especially back then, like, during the 90s and 2000s, it was considerably less popular. It was like when the UK tried to do stock car racing. It just didn't work out that well. It just didn't work out that well. Yeah, twisted tracks like Mid-Ohio or like Laguna Sega. Yeah, they do pretty well on those types of tracks. They struggle on the high-speed tracks though, like Watkins Glen or like Road America. Road Atlanta, they're not too bad on, although they get absolutely murdered by the GT4s on the back straight. But they can keep up through the S's. Yeah, the NASCAR Europe series. Although again, they have a bit more of like kind of a touring car vibe with higher downforce and no oval races. Granted, I think the only real oval that you can race on in Europe is the Lausitz Ring. Like I don't think they have any other still operating ovals in Europe outside of like Lausitz Ring. So you kind of have to, by design, run it primarily on the road courses. Yeah, the new NASCARs are honestly they're kind of very similar to the V8 supercars of like that Australian races. The two are kind of having a bit more of a convergence. That's why people like Shane Van Gisbergen were able to come over to the States and drive the stock cars without too much issue. Because it's basically just a slightly different formula of that same type of like design philosophy of not quite as much power, not quite as much downforce as a GT3. You know, a little bit heavier, but crazy amounts of torque, crazy amounts of power. To really give it that grunt on the straights. Yeah, the V8 supercars use a live axle. So ironically, the NASCARs are slightly more advanced in the suspension area than the V8 supercars. That's hilarious, actually. I think the supercars still have the stock cars beat in terms of overall downforce produced. But don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that, please. Oh, okay. They also went IRS. I have to say the fact that they're using Camaros and Mustangs like as kind of like, you know, the vehicles to like, you know, they're kind of based off of. I know they have a spec chassis and everything, but like, you know, given the vehicles they're based off of already have independent rear suspension, like the fact that like the supercars would have been solid axle was quite surprising to me. Alright, we have a very solid second place right now. We're pulling ahead of the rest of the pack. Ah, okay, so the underbody aero more than makes up for the lack of overbody aero compared to the V8 supercars and their aero bits on top. I gotcha. Oh, this thing is such a beautiful car. We're really going for the ground effect vehicles between IndyCar and the stock cars as well. Oh, they got completely rid of the flat bottoms. Damn, big oof. Like at least keep the flat bottoms for higher straight line speed and less like resistance there. But jeez, okay, fair. Alright, the maneuverability is really nice. I like this. We're kind of in a bit of a no man's land right now. That Sylvia is absolutely pulling a gap. And we are pulling a gap on third as well. We're kind of lonely. Just a singular MR2, the little midship runabout. Ah, okay. So the better following, the better racing is why They went with more of the underbody aero. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Makes sense, makes sense. Alright, easy through the corners. Don't want to go down to first gear. First gear, I'm bouncing out the rev limiter. I know second gear is a little bit out of the power band range. But I'd rather be in second than first gear. Alright, we're doing well here. Nice and smooth through the twisties. Nice and smooth through the twisties. There we go. And we need a horsepower back. Yeah, get rid of the stage racing, get rid of the playoffs, add more power. Like, you got a recipe for some great stuff. Like, you have some good drivers that are, you know, beginning to have more of a personality again. The cars look gorgeous, the racing is close and everything. On a decent amount of the tracks. Like, Watkins Glen last year was an absolute barnstormer of an event. Ironically, the road course races last year in general were just really, really good. Sonoma was solid. Like, they had some good road course racing last year. It's the short tracks that struggle a little bit, as well as the 1.5 mile ovals a little bit as well. But adding more power would probably help out a bit with that, because the cars get a little bit looser, burn out the tires a little bit more. Yeah, like, honestly, I'd love to see them do more road course racing if they can fit some stuff into the schedule. Like, they even make the Charlotte Roval, like, they put on a good show there. Like, they did well at Coda this year as well. Coda was pretty enjoyable to watch. Although I wish they went back to the longer track. I don't quite like the shorter track. Like, they had some good options. They got some good options there. And hey, they could even open up potential for, like, new markets. Like, for example, like Utah. To my knowledge, Utah doesn't have an oval, but they got the Utah Motorsports campus. So NASCAR races there. Like, you know, get another race in the calendar, another race out west in like an emerging market potentially. Could be cool. Gonna be super. So getting the Supra. Ooh. Alright, we got 4 vehicles to choose from. Let's pull up a random number generator. Pull up a random number generator. Display capture. Alright, so we got 4 vehicles. If it's 1, it'll be the Toyota BB. If it's 4, it'll be the little Citroen. I'm not looking forward to this because all but 1 are pretty slow. That is a 3. That is the Nissan Moco, I believe. So that'll be fun to have to deal with that. To be fair, the Z they dropped the Z GT4 program, so I doubt they go with a Z supercar program. Yeah, let's go with the Moco Green. Gosh. My word. The Moco. Mococo. Alright, let's do a race in a Moco just to see how terrible it is. It seems okay, but I mean, if Nissan doesn't have any teams to run the GT4, then they, like, you know. Still, I don't know. Either way. The fact that the Z GT4 was kind of not really a success doesn't bid well for Nissan's performance and racing aspirations. Jeez, we got nothing. Yeah. But it is definitely not the best. It is definitely a little bit rough. It is a big blow to Nissan Motorsports. Yeah, it is using a much older chassis. And even the engine itself, while having been updated, is still a bit underdeveloped compared to more modern performance vehicles. Oh gosh, the Moco. The Moco, we are struggling in the Moco. We are struggling in the Moco. It has no grip. It has a little bit of turn-in since thanks to our suspension adjustments. But holy moly. Oh boy, it is. We are struggling a wee bit. It does have a very high RPM range though, so let's have that going for it at least. Although it is, like, it is struggling to get up to the highway speed, let alone racing speed. I just feel like there isn't too much of that problem. It's a 16. Yeah, it'd be like trying to run like a Dodge Challenger GT4. That old chassis just wouldn't cut it, really. That old chassis would struggle a wee bit. Alright, back to the left. Come on, carry us through. There we go, give us some power. Yeah, and with the olds, you haven't been around literally for enough time to be featured in the original Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010 and the remaster 10 years later, and still be sold at dealerships for both of them, is pretty rough. That is pretty damning. Like, you look at the other cars in that game, like the C6 Vets. Like, we had C8 Vet by that time. You know, the Z4 updated. Porsche Boxer updated. RX-8, unfortunately discontinued, dude. The Evo, unfortunately discontinued. The Murcielago replaced with the Huracan. You know, the Camaro updated and then discontinued. The Mustang, multiple updates. Hell, even the Challenger got some major updates as well, and the Charger. Like, whereas the 370Z was mostly unchanged from both the original Hot Pursuit 2010 and the remaster. Like, bruh. Like, that is pretty rough. That is pretty damning, I think. The Murcielago had the Aventador. The Aventador was still around in 2020. That was what replaced the Murcielago as the. Well, yeah, I'm talking more so in terms of like the street cars. I'm talking practically in terms of like the street cars. just to showcase just how old and how long the 370Z had been in production. Okay, like compare it with other vehicles that were brand new in Hot Pursuit 2010, right? Most of them either got discontinued or got replaced with something newer. Like a newer generation, a completely new vehicle. Like, yeah, in relation to GT4, yeah, okay, the Huracan, sorry, the Murcielago was discontinued. There was no V12 Lamborghini race car and everything. But no, in terms of just the pure, like, street cars and everything, which shows just how outdated the vehicle is as a street car as well. It's the fact that it was, like, mostly unchanged between the two. Like, heck, even the Bugatti and, like, you know, other, like, high-end vehicles, like in the hypercar class, the Koenigs got replaced, the Bugattis got replaced. Heck, even the Apollo had the Evolution or whatever the heck that was. The Apollo Integrale Evolution or something. That thing. Like, it was ridiculous. You had multiple generations of Porsche 911 between, you know, the two Hot Pursuit 2010 games. And yet the Z was still there. The Z was still there. Like that's a bit ridiculous. That is a little bit ridiculous. Jeez, can I have something that's not like horrific in terms of our odds? Yeah. Alright, I do one more race. The small car race. This will be the last race of the night, I think. Get at least a few more upgrades on the Moko. Hopefully this thing gets upgraded quickly because, yeah. And to be fair, even then, like, we had some pretty significant updates and performance versions of the C4. You know, even at the end of the life, like, it was still, you had some good high-performance vehicles, like the ZR1, the Grand Sports, all of that stuff that really, you know, took it to the contemporaries of its day. Like, it wasn't, yeah, it was an older platform, but it was still able to kick butt, and, like, it got some updates. Maybe not necessarily visually, but, like, performance-wise, it was still at least, like, iteratively improved one. The Z got next to nothing. Like even the GTR, which also was an older platform and everything, got quite a few upgrades and everything like that. Yeah, the chassis was probably the weak point of the C4 at the end of its life. And that showed with the sheer performance gains of the C5 vet. But still, like, the C4 held its own. It's still used a lot in, you know, autocross racing and grassroots motorsport as a fairly inexpensive powerhouse vehicle with, you know, good V8 power and solid handling. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of issues there. I'd still love to have a C4 vet there. That'd be kind of a fun vehicle to have and drive, and this is like a fun Sunday car to take the car shows or like go cruising in like the countryside with. This only has 4 speeds? Oh gosh. This thing's dreadful. This thing is absolutely dreadful. Oh, the Esprit, yes. Or if we're going Lotus, the Elise. Especially once they switch to the Toyota engine. Like getting a Targa Top Elise S2 with the Lotus, not the Lotus, the Toyota engine. I'd be down for that. Just something lightweight, agile, open air. But that won't completely break the bank or be a hassle to work one. Can't fit one. Fair. Yeah, the Esprit might be a little bit better for you then. Right, I forgot. 6'3". For me though, I like the Elise. That would be in the cards. Yeah, because you can't even do like the shack upgrade of like getting the seat mounted further rearwards. There's no further rearwards to mount the seat. there's kind of nothing back there. Yeah, even a Esprit would be a little bit cramped. You need like a powerhouse kind of four-door vehicle, like maybe like the Chevy SS or like something like that potentially. Get you some good performance with the room to, you know, actually kind of, you know, sit in it. Esprit also has poor torsion on rigidity. Yeah. Lotus, simplify, add lightness, and pray it doesn't break. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna be ending the stream here. It is getting very late. I need to get dishes done. I need to get a few other things sorted. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what we roll in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what we're doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, doesn't matter what it is for you, may it be a great time, and I will see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care everybody. Bye bye.